Coach Brown, who was reportedly looking for something closer to market value. So, Shannon, would the Chiefs be the best fit?
Skip, he'd be a great fit. And I've told you this was going to be the hang-up with AB. Skip, he doesn't want to play again for 1 year. He says, I played on that prove-it deal. I've proven I can still play. I've proven that I will behave myself. Skip, the thing, look, Andy, I don't know if Andy's older than BA or BA is older than Andy, but they're a lot alike. Is that Andy will tell you exactly what he expects, and if you don't do it, you're going to have to move on. Because Andy did have T.O. T.O. have great respect for Andy Reid, but
I don't know about that.
Ask him. He'll tell you his favorite coach to play for was Andy. T.O. had a problem with that. He thought he outperformed the contract, and they didn't want to tear the contract up 1 year after he got there, and so that soured and that he started some problems that arose, and Andy sent him home. Andy says, you know what? It's just best that you go. Hey, take some time. When you feel like you're ready to come back.
I know Terrell first got into it with Brad Childress, who was the coordinator, and they just, ugh. Yeah. It was ugly.
Yes, yeah. For the most part, Skip, that's kind of how it always starts. It starts with the position coach coordinator before it gets to Andy. But, Skip, BA made it abundantly clear to AB, the reason why it works so well in Tampa, you're late to meetings, you're gone. You're late to practice, you're gone. You throw a temper tantrum on the sideline, you're gone. See, nobody had made that abundantly clear to AB. Pittsburgh didn't, because, Skip, when you catching 130 balls for 1,513, 14 touchdowns a season, they're going to let you do everything. They let you come over to the house and kick your feet up on the couch. Yeah. The Raiders didn't make that clear to him. So what did he do? The first time he get into a situation that he ain't like, he start bucking. Well, they got rid of him. And he saw being away from the game for an extended period of time. Now, hold on. These teams ain't really putting up with my BS anymore. Man, I'm out here losing all this money. This guy making this money. I'm better than he. He making $14 million. I'm making nothing. So AB learned real quick the NFL will move on just fine without Antonio Brown. Andy Reid will need to make it abundantly clear. AB, if you're late, you're gone. Late to practice, you're gone. Miss meeting, you're gone. Throw a tantrum on the sideline, you're gone. Now, Skip, he'll be better in this situation than Sammy Watkins, because I believe he's a better player than Sammy Watkins is. And that's another guy with quick twitch. You got Tyreek, quick twitch. AB still got quick twitch. And you got Travis Kelce, who's the premier tight end in all of football. So they will be loaded, but the question is how much? Because the price point, what is the price point for AB? Can they get him for $6 million plus incentives? They have about $11 million up under the cap, Skip. I'm not sure they want to spend the whole quote-unquote ball of wax in one location. But can they do $6 million plus incentives, which will be more than the $1 million plus incentives Tampa's trying to get him. Like I said, AB wasn't going back to Tampa for that small amount of small amount of money, Skip. And that's what it comes down to. AB wants to get compensated now because he knows he's closer to the end than the beginning.
Okay, before I answer this, I should probably disqualify myself. I obviously am a Brady fan, or at least a Brady defender on this show. So clearly, I would like to see Antonio go back to Tom.
I bet you would.
I believe, heart of hearts, Antonio won't fit anywhere except with Tom. There's some connection those two have. It's a weird connection. It's an unpredictably uncharacteristic connection of two guys who are from opposite ends of the spectrum. But it works because there's mutual respect. Yes. And I think I'm going to go all the way to mutual love.
Because, Skip, the thing is that Ben, I'm not so sure Ben respected AB, and AB damn sure didn't respect Ben.
Did not.
But AB
did. Remember, Ben called him out on the radio.
Yeah, again, that interception against Denver. AB respected Coach Belichick. He didn't have any respect for Mike Tomlin, because if he did, he wouldn't have done the things that he did. If you have respect for someone, you don't do what you did. So now you go to an established situation with Patrick Mahomes. He's established. Andy Reid is established. I believe that's a little bit different of a situation than him going, because, Skip, you got to have an established coach that's firmly entrenched. There ain't no wavering. And you got to have a quarterback where they got Patrick Mahomes not going anywhere.
I'll never forget the opening media session in Philadelphia, Andy Reid and Terrell Owens. And right out of the box, Andy Reid called him Terrell Owens. And Terrell sort of cleared his throat and said, Coach, it's Terrell. Yeah. And as soon as I heard that, I said, uh-oh. Like, this is not going to go that well.
Right.
because that's disrespect immediately.
Right.
Like, you don't even know how to pronounce my first name? Okay. And it blew all apart. But I agree with you. I think maybe for a while he thought it was heaven because he had fallen completely apart with Mariucci, and
Greg
Terry Donahue was the GM,
Right.
who I was very close to. And it just...
Because you remember his old sideline, he was yelling at Greg Knapp.
He was just all over. And that was in Minnesota versus Randy Moss when T.O. was just getting annihilated head-to-head against
Well,
Randy.
that's how you do it, Skip. If you know one of those guys, you know how receivers are. So what you try to do is you try to feed your guy. And you, hey, we're going to double this guy right here. Get him frustrated.
That was the game when T.O. went to the locker room and basically got on a soapbox and said, I don't want Jeff Garcia anymore. I want Tim Rattay to be my starting quarterback, just for the record. Okay, I agree with you. AB would be a good fit here because simply that they lost Sammy.
Right.
And he is a Sammy.
Right.
It would fit right into their scheme of catches last year, just for those who have forgotten. Kelsey led them with 105 catches. Tyreek was next at 87. Then it went down to Demarcus Robinson had 45. And don't forget him, he was a pretty key piece. Every time I looked up, what he 11? Number 11's making another big catch. McCole Hardman had 41. So it goes 45, 41, and then it went down to Sammy at 37. So he was the fourth receiver.
But Sammy missed like 6 or 7 weeks, so it no number, no telling what his numbers could have been.
I got it. But that's the hole in the rotation right now.
Right.
And AB could fit in there. So in 11 games last year with Brady, he had 53 catches. So he averaged catching about 5 balls a game.
Right.
Not bad.
Right.
And early on, Tom just force-fed him just to try to show him, we love you and we want you and we need you.
Right.
And you are a part of this rotation, which is some rotation because you got the 2 wideouts who are about as good a duo as you can get.
And that's what would help AB because guess what? He's not going to get the double. You're going to double Tyreek. You're going to probably double Trav. And that means he gets to work one-on-one against 2 or 3 corner.
Okay. This is just me. Last year, with his time away from football, I didn't see quite the quick twitch I saw in Pittsburgh, for instance. I thought he lost just a touch of sudden. Just to my eye test, it wasn't quite the same. It was still very good, but he was all-time great for a while.
Skip, he can still get in and out of breaks. He can still run the route tree. Now, maybe he's not the deep guy that he once was in Pittsburgh.
I did not see it.
But you got Reek for that.
Okay.
You still got McCole Hardman that can get downfield.
Okay.
So, but that
now
intermediate
you've got nicknames for everybody on Kansas City. They're your new bandwagon?
Well, Skip, I mean, everybody just go back. You don't call, I mean, in the locker room, I mean, you
Trav and Reek.
Yeah, but I mean, Skip, you've been around enough football that nobody goes by their full name in the locker room.
They do not. So Antonio in the last 6 games with Brady had 6 touchdowns, and he had 1 in the Super Bowl.
Right.
Okay, so he was coming alive, and their rapport was starting to really manifest itself in the end zone.
Right.
So I thought it was a sweet spot for him to be in.
Right.
But the money is not there because the money all went to everybody else. And I'm sure it is just killing his pride to say, do you know who I am?
Right.
You gave him that much. We start with Shaq Barrett, Levante, and then Gronk, and we go right down the line. You gave him and him and him and him.
All of them.
Down to Fournette.
But that's the thing. That's what AB said. AB said, hold on. Y'all found money for everybody else. But somehow y'all telling me y'all ain't got but $1 million for your boy.
Okay. That's what it is. Okay. Maybe this is disqualified wishful thinking on my part. I still say AB is a firestorm waiting to happen if you don't have a deep connection with him. And I'm not sure Patrick would be the guy to have a deep connection. Maybe Andy would.
Yeah.
I'm not sure after that. I just think that he would be feeling himself a little more than he was last year when he was on his best behavior.
But guess what they did? Is that Bruce Arians brought him in and said, you're a piece. You're not the puzzle. You see, in Pittsburgh, he was the puzzle. Okay. You see, in Oakland, he was the puzzle.
Well, to your point, he came in under 0 tolerance last year.
Exactly.
Would he have 0 tolerance? He's going to walk in the door flaunting his ring. I got a ring.
Hey, we got one the year before, bro.
Yeah.
Everybody here is accomplished. I mean, the guy that's in that locker room, Tyreek, is a Super Bowl champ. He's an All-Pro. Travis Kelce is an All-Pro. He's an MVP. Mahomes is an MVP. A lot of those guys got rings, and they got them before AB did. So he don't come. I mean, look, we know what AB is. He's a multiple-time All-Pro. He's a multiple-time. He's a fascinating. He sabotaged a large portion of his own career with his behavior. But that's not to take away. He's still an exceptional talent. He still can play at an extremely high level. All he has to do is stay out of his own way. That was his problem. He kept stepping on his own feet.
He did. So I will give you this. If you got him again on his best behavior, if he were next year the way he was last year, quiet as a little mouse, well, I didn't hear a peep from him all year. If you had him on Kansas City and we did have a Super Bowl rematch between these two, then you would really want AB on your side because he would be driven.
I mean, Fox Bet say that the Chiefs gonna have like 12, 13 wins.
Well,
y'all will be under that.
Okay, good for you. All I know is Tampa is going to win the Super Bowl next year.
Oh, you're going to
repeat? I'm on record. I already said it. With or without.
Don't nobody buy records no more. You know that, right?
With or without.
Everybody stream now.
Some people do buy
ain't
records.
Nobody buy
Some do. They're very valuable.
Ain't nobody
They're more valuable than they ever were. Vinyl is the way to go.
Everybody's streaming.
Yep.
I kind of want. Well, I think an old record player would be kind of nice.
Yep.
I think that would look good. I understand. I hear you, Skip. I hear you over there. Let's get back to what Steph did last night. His historic hot streak, is it moving him up on the all-time rankings? Let's talk about Steph Curry more in depth